Hi, I'm Miles.
And I'm Marika.
And this is I Don't Know What I'm Doing.
Because we don't. Okay, so I started a new job since our last episode.
Woo.
Which was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
So this didn't happen this week, but it happened last week. My second day, I was late. Second day.
How late?
Not a very good impression. Like 15 minutes. But really, like, people arrive there early, so it's probably, I'm like 20 minutes late, because I should get there, like, 5 minutes early to settle down. Or, not settle down, but...
For 9.
For 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, so, what happened, like, I texted my boss, telling him I was gonna be late, but he was also gonna be coming in later that day, too, because he had a doctor's appointment, but that was already pre-planned.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, hey, find so-and-so when you get in, and I'm like, to, like, mark down that I was late, like, a point system, like, in my mind. And I'm like, ugh, and I'm like, so this is my second day. And on my first day, a bunch of people kept coming over to my cubicle to introduce themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like...
That's nice.
That is nice, but I'm like, I don't remember your fucking name.
Well, because they're like, I'm Dan. And then they're like, but I'm Dan. And I'm Matt.
I wish it was like that, but it was not.
Okay.
Everyone had different names. And then he's like, find so-and-so. And I'm like, who? And I'm like, standing around my, like... kind of like by my cubicle a little bit, and I'm with my back, like, just being an idiot, and she's like staring at me like, come on, let's go, like, oh,
who's staring
sorry,
at you?
the person I was supposed to talk to, because I had like a WebEx meeting, at 9:30.
I mean, but that's the whole... I mean, I still do this at any point in the job, but that's the whole gift of being new to the job. You can just be as stupid as you want. You can ask everyone everything. I still do that. Like, when I would go to meetings, like, at my advertising job, there's all these acronyms I don't know, and I would be like, what is, like, AKQ? I'm like, what does AKQA mean? What does WXP mean? What does this mean? And I'm not afraid to fucking ask things, because I want to know now. I don't want to pretend like I know for, like, 6 months, and I never actually know. That's worse.
Oh, because, like, I feel like most people... have the reaction of like, oh shit, I should probably fucking know this already, and I need to figure that out.
No, but if you ask
like,
questions,
secretly ask a question to somebody.
If you ask,
that won't judge you.
It makes you look humble, and it makes you look like you want to be a learner. Like, you don't have too much pride. You're not embarrassed. You're like, no, I just...
Okay, like, what day did you ask that question? Like, the second...
No, like, 3 weeks in. Because it hadn't
different.
really come up until then.
But that's, like, different from, like, oh, this is, like, 6 months and you still don't know this?
I still ask people questions. But I have to. I mean, for my job, I have to, especially as a writer. I'm like, so I'll be in a meeting and I'll be like, so do we want this to be, like, a 4-sentence paragraph type deal? Or are we looking for a 1-sentence? And then other people are like, I'm so glad you asked. Because I never know either. So it's, like...
That's different though. That's like what the project's gonna be. And, like,
no, but I could have just sat through that meeting. Nobody would have asked that question. I would have gotten back to my desk and been like, well, I don't know what I'm fucking writing. You know?
But that's not like an acronym. You know what I mean?
No, Marika, just ask any fucking question you want to ask. Be like, who the fuck are you? I know, my God, I know we met, but like, I don't remember your name. I'm Marika. I'm sorry. Or then you're like, oh, Ellen, what's that woman's name over there?
Oh, yeah, I
did that the other day.
My coworker, like, that I trust, that won't, like, judge me, and she's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
You guys, pro tip, ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
But also, you know, you could be like me, like...
Don't be afraid to ask questions. No. Marika's afraid.
God. I'm not afraid to ask questions that I think are really important.
Yeah.
But if I think it's, like, not an important question, I'm going to ask my coworker instead. And, like, sometimes I ask questions, and it's, like, I just feel, like, this different tone. And this energy. Like, don't discredit my feelings. Okay? Okay? Yeah.
Do you have, like, a certain way that you like to ask questions? I do.
What?
Like, I'll be like,
fuck?
no, I'm like, Rika, like, what is that person's name again? You know, like, you do it on the side of your mouth, you're like, wait, like, what is, I might get mad, but like, what is his name? You ask like that, so it's like, funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's if I'm talking to a coworker that I'm close with, not like a colleague.
What about a coach worker?
No.
Okay.
That doesn't exist.
Not at your job.
Okay.
I love my coach workers.
Okay, if I was asking a colleague, I would be like, I don't know this. Where is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I still get this energy of like, well, I'm annoyed. Great. Thank you.
Is that like reality or perception?
Well, it's happened. I felt it multiple times, so think it's reality.
Okay.
But I don't. It's my reality,
right? Well,
and like
I mean,
just because
yeah.
like maybe I'm just reading the person's body language or energy wrong, or you know, it's just how I'm interpreting things. But it's real to me, so whatever. So I'm like, just gonna ask you less questions. Now, and I'll
Guys,
ask other
pro
people.
tip: don't make any assumptions. Pro tip.
No, just follow your gut. That's,
Like-
you know, your gut's always right. Usually. Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry.
I'm not saying, like, it's not, I'm not saying, like, if you have a question, like, don't ask. I'm just saying, like, ask someone else.
This is all I
that
have-
you feel more comfortable with.
This is all I have
That's
to
what I'm
say.
saying.
That's all I have to say is there's this book my mom made me read. It's called The Four Agreements. Changed my life. It's also, my coworker Susan read it for my old job. It's about Toltec wisdom. Blah blah blah. But it's just 4 rules to live your life by. And don't make any assumptions. Totally changed my whole perspective because it's never possible to know what anyone else is feeling. Like if you're asking somebody something and you're like, I feel like they're judging me. You have they could be not. No, wait, Marika, hold on. You have no idea. So the only way that you could ever get... No, it's actually, this is so useful in relationships too, because a lot of times in relationships, you're like, I just feel like you were like this, or I feel like you were doing this. You literally, if you go in with the mindset of you never fucking know, and you have to ask questions to figure out how people are feeling, it's so much healthier.
Yeah. I'm not going to ask my coworker, like, hey, I feel like you're judging me.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, you can ask them a question and you're like, hey, I feel like they were annoyed about that, but you do not know.
Okay, so how did I figure out if they were annoyed by it, Miles? Tell me. Tell us. Tell us.
You just have to be okay with not knowing. I mean, you could ask them, but you really wouldn't ask, I don't think, in that situation, so you're just okay
So, like,
with not.
really, it's, like, none of my business, like, to know, like, how they feel about
You just
me, which is
keep
fine.
an open mind.
But I don't want to ask them questions anymore, so...
It's like how people are like, I don't want to
story.
go, I feel weird, like, a lot of people are like, I feel weird going to the gym because I feel like people are judging me.
That's not
and Planet
true.
Fitness made an entire brand off of that. Planet Fitness has the judgment-free zone. They say, we won't judge you because they know
Right.
that people are insecure.
Sure.
But when you go to the gym, you're not fucking caring about anyone else at the gym.
Nope.
But that's the people's perception.
Yeah, but I feel like if this has happened... So this is how I... do based on my actions of like people judging me.
Yes.
If it happens multiple times and not just one instance, then I'm gonna like learn my lesson and have appropriate boundary of something. You know?
I guess
So-
I feel like...
Like there is a way of seeing how someone like is judging you or feeling about you without even asking them. I'm sorry, there is. If you know them well enough, okay? So,
Do you know these people well?
not yet, but like
I just don't want you to be afraid to ask questions, get the
I'm
information
not
you need
afraid
to
to ask
do
questions. I'm just
to
not
kick
going to
ass.
ask a certain person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my fail is... So I went on a third date last night with a guy that I met at Trivia, who I was, like, so into because he was, like, basically everything on the checklist. He was just, like, great shape, cute, super smart, like, met him in an organic way, which is nice. Like, met him from Trivia, not through an
that
app.
rarely happens to our millennial generation.
Yeah, and it's so much nicer meeting somebody in person. And, like, getting to know him, he's, like, funny. I'm, like, making him laugh. I'm, like, this is going great. And then end of the third date, we walk back to his house. And I have, like, my glasses, like, in my coat pocket. I'm, like, ready to sleep over. Like, I'm ready to, like, slumber party. I'm ready to, like, learn more. But
girl.
then he's like, so this has been great, but I'm, like, not feeling chemistry here.
Ooh.
So I don't want this, he's like, you know, like,
Staying.
I mean, I don't want to make it, that's obviously hard for someone to say, you know, so I don't want to make it, I don't want to, you know, it's awkward to be like, you know, you don't want to be mean to somebody, but you do need to say that if you're not feeling the chemistry. So I was like, I totally get it. And he's like, I feel bad. And I was like, no, I was like, that's life. Like, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. And you can't control that.
Oh my God, Miles, that's so sad.
And then I, like, got on my little bike, and it's fucking
Put on your glasses.
And I know. And I biked to my friend's art opening and walked directly to the wine and didn't talk to anybody until I got my full cup of wine, and then was like, hello. I'm gonna drink like 3 of these and eat Chick-fil-A. And then eat chocolate chips in bed. At 1 a.m. by myself. And then wake up. So,
well,
I didn't really fail, but it felt like it's just disappointing.
Oh my, yeah, like that's, you put yourself out there, which I feel like
I did.
as adults, like, we fail to do in general, just putting yourself out there. Like, there's no action of going towards that at all, sometimes, like, all the time.
You're talking about yourself or all adults?
My friends.
Okay. But our episode is I don't know how to make friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of do, kind of don't.
So, I have a little thing that, well, an internal thought that happened
do you have
to
a
me
group
today.
do you have a group of friends?
Yeah. I have multiple.
You have a group that you're, like, part of. I don't have that.
Yes.
I am like the outside of several groups. Like, I can glom onto a group, but I don't have a group. I have, like, scattered people. I have this person over here, this person over here, you over here. But it's not a like, I've had groups in the past, but I don't have a group.
Okay, I don't know now. Like, where do I belong?
I think you kind of do.
Okay, wait, okay. So, maybe I'll comment about it later, because I had this internal thought that, like, I feel like maybe some people have. I'll just say it right now. So I, like, texted to my friends. I texted my friend Kyle and my friend Kimberly. I texted Kimberly first, asking, hey, what is going on with Kyle's birthday? Because his birthday's coming up. And I'm thinking, like, oh, she probably knows more than Kyle, like, she's helped planning it or something like that. So then I, like, was getting impatient. Granted, it was, like, 7 minutes. I texted Kyle, and I'm like, hey, what is going on for your birthday? Like, oh, well, so many birthdays, like, have happened since before my birthday. I'm kind of, like, over birthdays. And I'm like, okay, whatever. But internally, as that was happening, and waiting for them both to text me, and usually they're pretty quick about it, I was like, oh my God. Is this friendship over? Am I, like, exiled from the group? Like, did I do something? Even though I have not done anything. And I'm like, oh my God, like, do they not want me to come to the birthday extravaganzas? Like, I wasn't, like, I was kind of, like, not, well, I wasn't invited last year because they forgot about me. So,
damn.
That was, like, going through my mind because I'm like, I don't want to miss a birthday.
Yeah.
Again, and I'm like, oh gosh, because, like, Kyle's, like, kind of the matriarch of, like, the group.
Matriarch?
Is that only for women?
Patriarch.
Patriarch.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, he could be a matriarch, and that's his, like, energy, but
No, he's the patriarch,
okay.
matriarch, whatever. Okay, so I, like, because they would talk about this birthday of, like, rolling and, like, how, like, you know, someone put a bunch of, like, MDMA in, like, everyone's beer, and, like, everyone's, like, drinking their beer and, like, rolling and having fun. I'm like, what the fuck, where was I? It's like, where was I? Like,
can you drop a MDMA in a beer?
Yeah, you could drop, like, little rocks.
Oh.
And it won't taste as bad, but whatever. So I'm like, okay, like, where was I? I was probably being a bump on a log out in the suburbs. Because, like, you know, I do stay at home a lot, and they probably are so used to that.
Right, they're like, maybe she wouldn't want to come anyway.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Which is
thing.
an assumption.
Yeah. Yes, but you gotta, that's the end of that.
You're like, I hate that.
Okay?
I'll buy you the book, don't worry.
No. So, yeah. Like, it's just weird how, like, immediately I gravitate towards the worst of, like, I'm losing 2 friends.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Mm-hmm. Because they haven't texted me in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say what that is, but...
What is it, Miles? Insecurities?
Some shit. It is, but anyway.
But it's also, like, mostly, like, insecurities of, like, yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my group. I guess, like, I thought I had a group, but now when you describe that to me of what you are, I'm like, I don't think I am. Like, because there's, like, the Kyle group.
Yeah.
Okay. But am I friends with everybody in that group that I reach out to? Like, that I, like, hang out.
Yeah.
And I have their number.
Yeah.
No. And then I have...
But do you feel like you're on the periphery, or you're, like, in it?
But I'm, like, in it.
Okay.
I'm in it, but I'm on the priv. I don't know, because because it's location. Like, I would be in it if I lived in the city. But since I'm out here, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of another group. Oh, the Jamie, Miles, Zachary.
Yeah, well, that's like, so we're so scattered. We're in 3 different states.
Yeah, but that's still a group.
I don't know that is.
Yeah, it is.
We're in,
we
like,
went on
different
vacation
places.
together. Like, went to Paris. Like,
Yeah, but I went to, like, Greece with Shireen and Zachary. That's not a group.
Okay, but Shireen's not in our group, though. Because we don't... Do you talk to Jamie, like, on a monthly basis?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you talk to Zachary on a monthly basis?
Yeah.
Do you talk to me?
Well, that's what, for me...
That's a group. Do Jamie and Zachary talk on a monthly basis? Probably.
Not... I don't
maybe.
know. They'll know.
They'll know, okay? So, I think, like, that I still also qualify, like, Ian and Michael as a group as well, too. I know
It's like a historic group.
Okay, so they're in this sub-historic group.
I guess for me, like, I've been in groups in the past. Like, in college, it was, like, Jamie, me, Johnny, Susanna, like, we would just, like, hang out, watch movies, go to Walmart, drink alcohol, eat pasta. Like, we were, like, a thing, you know? And...
I think it's
or, like, Beard House, where it was, like, Jeremy, John, MacArthur, me, like, Jamie exploring the city, Alice is, like, discovering stuff. That was, like, a group, too. But now... I don't have that. I have, like...
Also, when we were younger, you guys, when we were young, we had a group of friends, and guess what the name of our group was? It's so great. It's so good. We called ourselves The Group.
The Group.
Classic.
So smart, you guys. It's like naming a cat. Yeah, that was a group.
I remember naming our group that. Like, you guys, like, we're a group.
We sound like bitches. We're like, we had a clique.
Okay, and then I also have, like, a suburb group, but I call that the Adam group because that's mostly him.
But you're, like, in it.
Yeah, I'm in it, and he has, like, a bunch of friends, and I
maybe
maybe
this is how we qualify it. If you are friends with multiple people in a group instead of just one person, that means you're in it.
Yeah.
I think that's what that means.
Yeah.
Because, like, my friend Michael, I'm on the periphery of that group. He's my friend, but I'm not friends with anyone else in that. I like the other people in it, but he's my only friend.
Yeah. So I'm definitely in the Adam group.
Okay.
But he's so... Okay, so back when I was on my second year of living in the suburbs, living with my parents, not having any friends because all my friends were in the city, and they were my, like, ex-coworkers from the restaurant. I, like, became friends with Adam, and then I'm like, oh my god, Adam is, like, a perfect example of, like, having multiple groups of friends. He has, like, at least 3 groups. At least 3.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I want that.
See, I'm only, like, in one group with him, because I'm friends with multiple people in that group, and then these other 2 groups, I, like, know them, but I don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to do it. You're in the group if you're friends with 2 people in it, and then I think we should also define what a friend is. I think a friend is someone that you can hang out just the 2 of you. That's what changes it from, like, an acquaintance to a friend.
Yeah.
I remember my friend Johnny, who, like, we're, like, were best friends in college. Like, he was, like, my gay friend. Like, but I remember freshman year, we had never hung out, just us two. And I remember it was, like, suggested at some point, and we were both like, I don't know, would that be, like, weird? Because we hadn't done it yet. But then we had to break through that.
Yeah, that's important. But, like, I honestly think, like, I'm good at making friends in new environments. But I don't know it's because of luck of, like, all of a sudden, like, we're friends now. We exchange phone numbers, and we talk, and we hang out outside of work. Like, like, now, like, with my new job, like, I know at least one girl that I'm like, I want to have your phone number in my phone.
Yeah. We should just push for it.
That's how
I made friends with Meredith. But that, we were both, is she new or no?
Yeah, she's new with me.
Push now.
Now.
Meredith and I, we both started at our job at Parker at the same time. We were in new orientation, and I had just moved back from Minnesota, and a lot of my friends had moved away from Chicago, and I was like, I need more friends.
Yeah.
And she was in this group, and she mentioned, I was like, and she had just moved to Chicago too, so I was like, we both moved here. She needs friends too. I, like, thought about it, and then she mentioned, like, Georgia, how she lived there, and I was like, oh my god, I lived in Georgia too. She's like, oh, really, where? And I was like, boom, boom, boom. Take this commonality, force it into a fucking friendship.
This girl,
We're friends for 5 years.
This girl that I want to be friends with, like, she loves murder. She's reading.
She loves murder. Murdering people?
Shut up, you know what
It sounds wrong.
Murderinos, you know what I'm freaking talking about.
A murderino? What is that, in Italian?
Excuse you. But a murderino is someone who listens to My Favorite Murder.
Okay.
You learned something today.
Yeah.
Very important.
Okay.
So she's reading this book about the Golden State Killer. And, like, I was probably way too excited to learn that she's reading this book. And
Did
I'm
you
like,
guys talk about it?
yeah, but I think she was, like, kind of maybe scared of, like, my reaction, because I was just, like, making big hand gestures.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, let me tell you everything
That's
I know about it.
good.
And then she likes cooking, and she likes cooking shows. And I'm like,
Oh my god, she's you.
she is, and she's pretty. I mean, oops, that's not a quality that's necessary. But
I don't know.
Nice.
Some people want attractive friends, which I always think is funny.
yeah, that's maybe, I don't know.
Is that you?
It's a highlight. It's a highlight
Yeah.
that I would like to have.
Yeah. That's
So-
yeah. I've never been that person, but I don't disparage that person. I just think it's
Yeah.
interesting.
But I mean, like, I've never moved to a new city and had to make friends. I've always wanted to do that, but I think that ship has kind of sailed. I'm 30.
No, oh my god, you can do anything.
You know when your parents are getting older and you're an only child.
Oh, I forgot about that part. Yeah.
How do you?
Yeah.
You know me most of my life, so.
Forgot about the family thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do that a few times. I mean, I moved to Minneapolis with my boyfriend at the time, and I really had to learn a lot about how to make a friend at that point. Because I was in AmeriCorps, so there was a built-in, like, cohort. A lot of people had moved from out of town, but it took a long time, I think, because I wasn't pushing hard enough for that to coalesce into, like, a group of friends.
Okay.
It took a year. Like, I didn't really have a group of friends it took a year.
That's a long
And then
time.
but I lived in Minneapolis for 2 years, so by the time I was done, I had 3 groups of friends.
Oh
The second
gosh.
year, it just kind of picked up.
Yeah.
Because everyone was new, I could compare the groups to each other. Like, I had, like, the AmeriCorps one. Then I had kind of, like, a gay, like, YMCA one, because I was, like,
Yeah.
my service site was a YMCA. And then I had one that was actually, like, this guy I went to college with. He had ended up moving to Minneapolis. We knew each other in Savannah. So random. And then I was, like, on the periphery of that group. I was on the periphery because I was not always invited.
Isn't that so awkward that you, like... And it's, like, so weird to me when that still happens to you as an adult. And I'm like, I, like, honestly, just, with no shame, invite myself to things sometimes. I'm like, yep.
Yeah,
I'm coming to
Marika invited herself to my mom's wedding to my stepdad.
Yep, did that.
And she was, like, in middle school, so...
That's not... Wait, no, because my mom was invited to that. Yeah, my mom was there.
That's not really what my mom says, but... So with the Minneapolis groups, There were 3, and then the artsy one, the guy I knew from art school. It was funny because like I had made at that point a lot of AmeriCorps friends, and like AmeriCorps friends, if you're listening, I love you. But there was something different about like Jason and his girlfriend Zoe. Like we went really deep, really fast.
Oh my
like we
God.
would, I like met them, and something was just like our spirits just like clicked, and the 3 of us, we would hang out for like an entire day. We would hang out from like 10 a.m. to like 10 p.m.
Whoa.
We would just and like
Have we done that?
probably not in a long time, but I don't know. And it was just like it was a very different, like much.
Oh wait, we have go to Paris. No.
Yeah. It was a friendship that was like ours, or it reminded me of like ours or something that just could go very deep, and then it
Oh my
made the
God.
other ones feel more shallow, more surface level, which isn't bad, but
No, it's not bad.
it was just different, and I was like, why is this so different? Like, I still don't really know why.
That's like also interesting as we get older, like understanding like different types of friendships of like this is a friend where I am gonna just get shit faced with and not tell my secrets anymore because you're kind of shitty, but you're still fun. And then there's other people like you're like family. So
I just like I think I just only want the family ones. That's where I want to push every friendship into is like
yeah. Well, yeah, and then
Yeah.
like the other ones kind of like fade away, and like you just get more different shallow friends.
yeah, surface level
level.
stuff.
Yeah.
But that friend group would forget about me sometimes. So that larger group of artsy people would.
How would you like remind them that like, hey, I'm here?
I would bug Jason because he was my like good friend. He was like my friend in that group. I wasn't. I eventually made some other friends in that group, so I kind of tried to entrench my way more. But every single Friday they would have a pizza party every Friday.
Oh,
I
wow.
loved it. It was so cool to be in a group like that where every Friday you knew you were like getting together, and they would have this like they
Yeah,
would make
that's
homemade
nice.
pizza, and like sometimes it'd move. There were several different houses it would happen at. But then there was some point where like in the spring and early summer, it was like I just like there was like a month and a half gap where I just like didn't see them and wasn't really invited and stuff. And then I remember I like came back from I worked on a Lakota reservation in South
Oh
Dakota.
yeah.
I came back from that, and they were like, "Oh my God, Miles, we haven't seen you in so long." And I was like, "Yeah, because you haven't fucking been inviting me to anything. Like I've been trying to get to go to the stuff. Like what's
That's
happening?"
kind of like with the Kyle group. Like, Marie, we haven't seen you in so long. Like, you have to like come out here. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I always like feel guilty, but then inside, I'm like, just invite. Like,
Extend the invitation.
yeah, send the invitation.
Yeah.
Like, because sometimes they'll talk about like, oh, and this happened last week, and I'm like, so like a bunch of you guys went out and you didn't text me, so like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because I'm like, I want to be at home, but also I want to get invited just to feel important.
Right. Yeah.
Hashtag adult problems.
Yeah.
/ childhood problems that you use. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, no one really teaches you how to...
no, because like it. I mean, like you get taught that as a child, and then you like. I still have the feelings of feeling left out sometimes, and I'm like, I felt like this as a kid. So why am I still feeling this way as an adult? It's weird.
I mean, because those social dynamics still exist.
Yeah.
You know?
And like everyone's like, and I don't like it when people are like, everyone's friends with everyone. I'm like, no, that doesn't make relationships feel special. And
Is that a thing people say?
Adam says that because, and that's how he's popular. Because like, I want everyone to be friends with everybody, and I'm like, no. There has to be a hierarchy. There's like,
What?
there.
Hierarchy?
Well, like with like different things, like, oh, like I don't want my friends to commingle and become friends with each other because like worlds collide. Kind of like with George Costanza, where like there's independent George and relationship George, and like if they merge,
where he didn't want Elaine to be friends with
Susan.
Yeah. But you and Jamie became friends,
that
and then sometimes would
different.
do a lot of shit without me. Which I was fine with, because I'm an adult, but it did happen a lot.
That's because we're girls. I think that's why.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't have a girlfriend, and Jamie didn't
Right.
have one either in the city, except for Claire.
Yeah.
So
that was kind of a group of friends. So.
yeah. But like I'm like like I was like, wouldn't it be great like if all your friends were like friends with each other? I'm like, no. It's not. Because I'm a different person with each different group of friends. Like, I do drugs with this group. I don't want this other group to know, like, of my drug use.
Right. Marika won't let me see her bedroom. So
Guys.
clearly she wants to show different faces to different people. Cause
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge her.
I don't, but it's just like, you feel like the shame more with other friends than with some other friends. Like, Jamie can see my room because she's seen me at my fucking worst and the grossest.
My coworker who did want to be my friend, and I still feel bad when I was in AmeriCorps, but that was when I already had 3 groups of friends, and we worked together a lot, and I was like, I'm not gonna join your kickball team. I'm good. And she literally was like, Miles, be my friend, and I was like, maybe. Like, I was such a bitch. I don't understand why, but
you do know. You know why. You know.
I think because I thought she was basic.
Ding, 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 ding.
But that's you guys. That's mean. That's what's really wrong of me, and I feel bad about it.
I'm sorry, but this is the real world. Okay, you can't like everybody.
I like people that are like weird and interesting and like
yeah, and not basic.
But she's cool, and I should have been her friend, and But anyway, I'm bringing her up because she had this theory that the way to become friends with somebody is, she's like, when you're becoming friends with somebody is if you have an inside joke with them.
Oh, that's good.
That's not really how I work, but I like that theory. Yeah,
I like excluding people when they're in the room.
Okay.
With the inside jokes are the best. I don't really have inside jokes.
I'm not a huge inside joker, but
in my early 20s with a certain person, I did.
Yeah.
But back to the topic of people trying to be friends with you and you're like, ugh. That's happened to me multiple times. And I'm like, ugh, yeah, I'm sorry, not multiple times, I shouldn't be bragging, but it happens in a way of all of a sudden I meet them and then within 2 hours, oh my god, I love you so much, we have to be friends. I'm like, no.
Hang on. Hold on.
No, okay? I went to a wedding with Adam, and I have no shame talking shit about this person. And he obviously knew some people there, and we were sitting at this table, and there was this other couple that he knew, and the girl kind of loved me or whatever.
Oh.
And she liked me so much where she would be like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay. It's come with me. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, okay, it makes sense because I'm telling the story about when there was a little bit of drama at this wedding as we were talking about it. And then...
Do girls go in the same stall as each other?
Sometimes for special reasons. Anyways, so the second time she wanted to go to the bathroom, she's like, oh yeah, come with me. I'm like, no. She was not asking.
Yeah.
And she was like, come with me to the bathroom. I don't want to go alone kind of energy. And I'm like, what is this? No. The third time I'm like, no, I don't have to go. What are
Watch your levels.
No. Your levels are the same?
I'm just watching the spikes.
Spikes. But no, it's really confusing to me how certain it's mostly females how I'm like, oh my god, you're the coolest. I'm like, yeah, I know.
I think female friendship is its own beast.
Oh my god,
that I don't really know a lot about.
The most complicated thing ever. It's sometimes you want to be supportive of them, and then there's something great's happening, and then you're like, why do I feel jealous? And how come I want them not to have this thing? And I'm like, I shouldn't be feeling that way. But I do.
I think
it's and I feel that way with women that I barely know.
But isn't that's our society, right?
Yeah.
Because it's how men rule the world, so then women are competing for scraps, basically. Yeah. So it's but that's how men have controlled it, because the women are they're not joining together to take down men. They're competing with each other.
Yeah, but I also think there's something chemically going on. I don't think it's just... Yeah. I don't think it's just society. I'm sure a majority of it is, but honestly, like, something chemically happens in my brain. Or maybe it's just habit. But I feel like there's something deeper going on. Because it's not just me. I know, like, because a guy asked me this one time, like, how come girls can't get along or whatever, or like I have no idea. I think it's just chemically ingrained us or something like that. Like, so, yeah. I mean, female relationships are, like, so hard because I'm, like, I love you like a sister, but I want to punch you in the face.
Yeah, I don't think ever my friendships have gone that deep. Like, that swirl of emotions.
Oh, the swirls.
Of, like, love and hate.
But I guess, like, this hate is not, like, it's just, like, very fast for me. Like, I'm, like, over it. And I'm just like, oh, I just have to react differently in my brain. It's more of a me than, like, them. You know, like, I'm like, oh, well, how can I do this differently next time?
I also... It's easiest for me to make female friendships.
Because you're gay.
Wow. But yeah. And I didn't realize until, like, my mid-20s, like, I can make female friendships or I can make... I always want more gay guy friendships, but I can make gay guy friendships, but straight guys, I like... It depends. There's different types of straight guys for me, too. But I think, like... I like to make, like, lots of jokes with coworkers and stuff like that, but I'm always making them with female coworkers. Like, a straight male coworker, I'm just, like, not gonna make those jokes with.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I was, like, bullied by straight guys for my sexuality, so I'm more on guard.
Wait, whoa. Who bullied you?
Rob Raskowski, who also bullied you. And kind of Chad Strange.
But you didn't come out in high school.
But they fucking know you're gay.
Oh, they do?
Alright, let's just roster list. Janelle Dale, 6th grade. Rob Raskowski, 8th grade. Some other people 8th grade, but not for being gay. So I feel like I, like, way less often make, like, jokes and stuff with straight guys or straight coworkers or something. And I realize, like, I'm just more on guard with straight guys because I was, like, bullied by them.
Right.
So, and, like, I always had to hide my sexuality from, like, especially straight guys was where I was most on guard. Or, like, being in track and stuff. Freshman year, like, I had to, like, be super on guard and stuff.
Okay.
God.
wait,
So I feel like even now I'm, like, kind of... It depends, because if it's, like, a straight guy that's more, like... Doesn't have as much of a masculine energy, like, he's maybe more, like, nerdy or something like that, then it's, like, oh, yeah, it's all in my... And this is all very subconscious. It took me a while to realize I was doing it. If they're more, like, nerdy or whatever, then I'm not on guard. But if they're more, like, a man's man, then I'm, like, weirdly, like, I don't make jokes with them.
Huh. I didn't know, like, Rob Raskowski, like, bullied you for your sexuality.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
For your sexual
Oh,
orientation.
yeah.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, he sucks. I
so he had a pizza face. Like, fuck you. I wish I could go back and, like, tell why don't you look at the fucking mirror, okay? You're very ugly on the inside for making fun of people and being mean. Go look at yourself.
I know.
Like, re-examine.
We have the same birthday, too, which is so
God.
weird.
Do you think he's gay because he made fun of you?
No.
I was like, who are you? And I'll be like, yeah, who's your fucking girlfriend? Because he made fun of me for having a crush for Chris Hodge. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's, like, really obvious.
But, so I've tried to realize that, like, straight guy thing more. But I still don't really, like, even at my job, like, I'm just always, like, joking with women.
Growing up, I thought I had straight guy friends. Clearly, I was wrong.
Right. I have straight guy. I mean, we both have straight guy friends now. I have, like, a mix right now, which I like.
I have two. Oh, no. I have Kyle, Laurent, and Adam. And I guess, like, Jeremy and Mike. But, like, they're not... I'm not as close to them as, like, those three.
Right.
So...
I think we should answer some questions.
Ooh, yes.
We finally have questions.
We have fans.
Thank you. We have a lot emailed to us, but we just picked a few, so everyone is heard.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to your other questions later.
Like the first 3 or whatever. Like the first, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, first one, she's like, cleaning schedule. I don't clean for weeks until I spend all day cleaning.
That's a statement. But I'll pretend it's a question.
That's a fact.
So, like, yeah, how do you get on a cleaning schedule? I don't...
Chore wheel?
With other people? I think this is like...
With yourself.
With yourself, yeah.
So, when we lived in Batavia, we had...
Your family, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gosh, what are their names? The Bensons. Not Paul Benson.
Yeah, they're the Bensons.
This older couple, they were so cute. And the wife, she every day of the week was a different area of the house. So like Monday was the bathroom, like Tuesday was the kitchen. And then and it was like not like, oh, let's clean the dishes. It was like the deep clean.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds so hard.
But I don't think it is if you break it down into areas and rooms like that. Like bathroom, like a deep clean in the bathroom, that shouldn't take all day.
Yeah.
If you keep doing it once a week.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you would have to do a deep clean if you were doing it once a week.
But that's what you would do. How
do you know this?
Because my mom told me.
Okay.
Because their house was immaculate. And she was a good baker.
Yeah, the cleaning thing, what gets me to clean is when I'm having people over, then
Oh, yeah.
I think my mom really tried to train us that as kids, and it finally...
kicked in.
It finally got ingrained enough, but definitely I'll be like, oh, fuck, like, I want it to look nice, and...
Yeah,
I want to turn trash into treasure.
That too. Like, I cleaned my car a little bit for you, because I'm like, Miles is coming, I obviously can't have stuff on the floor. Oh, God,
so to answer your question, have people over more is what I would say.
Jamie, have strangers come over to your house.
That make you feel shame. That's my answer. Next question. Okay, guys, we recorded this episode at Marika, so the back half where we talked about our successes of the week somehow disappeared off the audio. I can only blame Marika. No, I don't know what happened, but it's gone. I think my success of the week was that I had a tweet that went viral, but that was so long ago now. But yeah, this episode is already so long. If you made it this far, oh my God, you're a true fan. So we're going to wrap it up. We do have an email, idkpod@gmail.com. Please send us your questions. We won't mention your name. And rate us on iTunes and give us stars and all that stuff. Yeah, thanks guys. Bye. I'm gonna drink like 3 of these and eat Chick-fil-A.